Good evening, fellow traders. What's going on? It's the Wolf. Welcome to another episode of Trader Takeaways in the Wolf Den. It is Friday, August 9th. It's a beautiful day out. You guys caught me. That's right. It's Saturday, August 10th. We're one day late on this episode. We lost executions on DAS, but no worries. We keep all our charts. We log everything. We're going to have a great episode for you guys. So with that being said, Rebecca, let's go ahead and roll right over to executions. Thank you so much. Now we're looking at NPTN. NPTN has been, this is day 4. They pushed August 5th in the after hours off earnings. And I was looking through the news. As you can see, they got their price range targets. I think Barron's raised them. A couple of guys, institutions raised them up from 5 to 7, yada, yada, 7 again. So, you know, institutions are pushing it. We also want to take a look here. It's a $47 million company. 47 million shares outstanding, 289 on the market cap. And let's just go ahead and take a look at the Jumbotron real quick on this massive, beautiful monstrosity of a screen. So look real quick. We've gone over this chart many times from $20 down to $5, $4. But let's look at this channel here. Now, this is the reason why I'm still holding. I'm still core short on this. We're working a 570 average, but that's a gross average because we're taking profit on the way up on day 2, 3, and 4. So I can put that into my net average, and that'll raise my net average to around $6. But more importantly, let's take a look. So this thing cracks down. This is the main volume channel. We have a double-headed consolidation monster right here. But let's look at 550. Let's just enhance. Nice. So 550 right here to 730. This is the consolidation that I'm looking at. We have some LVNs, right? We have another an HVN right here. And we're looking for resistance. Now we finally hit some of that resistance here at 630, 640 as the point of control on this chart right here that we're looking at. And we're expecting the rejection here. This is all speculative information. These are just my opinions. We're expecting a rejection here, and we're going to eventually come down and retest that 550 area. Now, the market sentiment is playing a role in this as well. There was some news out that the United States is not going to continue to have any type of business with Huawei phones. I'm not 100% sure on that. That's just what I've took a brief look at, because you guys know Wolf Trading Discord room, we trade the order flow, right? We want to know price action is king. We're tracking volume. So that's just a little information here. Here's the sell-off that we got. We got a nice rejection right here off of this 642 line. All the lines that you see on the screen are off of this 3-year chart. Now, we love the volume profile. We love the 3-year chart, as you can see right here. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and pull executions up from my previous chart. So here's how I traded NPTN, right? We leaned in on just a tiny bit. We got a nice pop, and I smacked it. Now here's the open 930. So I'm watching this thing. The volume's kind of grinding down a little bit. And this thing is on volume, massive volume divergence. Let's take a look over, right? So here's day 1 we're trading at. I don't have the volume averages right here. Okay, here's this is a 250K candle. Okay, so that's 250, so here's 125. So we're looking at like an 80, 90K average throughout the day. We call that the baseline average. So if that's 100K, then we're going to drop down 60% to 40. We're going to drop down another 50% off of that down to 20, and then we're going to drop another 50% down to a 10K baseline volume. Now, this is just how my brain thinks real quick. Lickety split, we're looking at these numbers, but this is called volume divergence, right? Price is going up. Price is going up and volume is going down. That's volume divergence, okay? Very basic stuff. But back over to executions. Now, so I took the rejection right here at 640, and then we get this nice flush. We haven't seen a flush like this from 645 down to 615. That's 40 cents. 30 cents. That's a nice rejection in relation to relatively to the candles that it's printing. So I took a half the position off here. Remember, I'm slightly bagged on my core average, but this right here, these are the type of moves that we're taking in to raise our gross average. So gross average is our share, our average price per share, but then we can put this profit back into the average and raise our net average, if that makes sense. If not, hop over into Wolf Trading Discord room. We're explaining this process every single day. Now, NPTN, we also traded. This is Friday. We also traded, that was yesterday on Workhorse. That was a great partial fill. I only got 20% of the size on that, covering from the swing. That was 2 days ago. Sorry, guys, I'm pulling old charts. PBYI, this was a trade on Friday as well. So PBYI, let's go ahead and pull that up. This is going to be a relatively short video, guys. Also, hope you guys are having a kick-ass weekend. It's summertime. A couple of my buddies are at the beach. They're playing volleyball. They're kicking back. We're in the office. We're smacking charts around. We're doing stats. Shout out to the guys in the room right now. 4 or 5 guys are doing fundamental analysis right now, and the room is just on fire. Let's take a look. PBYI. Now, PBYI, like I said, this was alerted into the room. I think it was an after-hours push. Sorry about that lag. It was after-hours push right here. It came into the room. If you guys saw my trader takeaways like 2 days ago, I said it was a trash company up on trash earnings, and we're going to go ahead and stuff this thing. And I didn't say we're going to stuff it, but we're going to attack it. And now if you look, pre-market highs is a $12 high, but we don't trade based off, we do trade off of intraday support and resistance, but our main bread and butter, and I'm repetitious on this, is a 3-year chart. Now, if we look at the 3-year chart, look at this fade, right? This is a trash name. I've already said that. Trash on trash earnings. That's what this is, trash on trash. So let's look at this volume profile. We're going to go ahead and enhance. All right, so now look, we're trading at 12.15 because the guys were asking me about this. How'd you know not to risk against pre-market highs at $12? Plus, because it's a whole number too, right? That's these guys are getting tricky. So this is the backside volume of this. But if you look at my lines, which are here, so here's 1162. This is the 3-year volume profile. I'm not even looking at the candles. So we can see a cliff right here. 1162, I'm going to hit it with the line. 1215, look at that. I'm going to hit it with the line. 1253, we didn't get there, but you better believe there's a line. And then look, 1330, boom. Now, if this thing can continue to push, I'm expecting for there to be a reaction at this level. And then if it pushes again, I'm expecting a reaction at this level. I'm the same way on the downside. Now, I can set targets if I'm in multiple trades, I can set targets, right? Like I would just say if I was in a trade and I'm in a winner, I'm going to set targets out at 1011, 956, 921, 906, and then look, now you can see this one is bright white. That shows me that we're going to have a volume consolidation. I guess you guys are going to get a little volume profile lesson right now. So that shows that this is a consolidation, right? Look at that. Look how dense that is, right? That's like Campbell's chunky. That's a lot of volume right there. So we want to enhance and take a look at that. Now you're noticing, where's the candles at? I'm not looking at the candles. I want to see the integrity of the chart. The integrity of the chart is the volume. Look at these levels. If you're interested in learning more about the volume profile, join us up in Wolf Trading Discord room. The room is on fire, baby. We love it. Now let's go ahead and go over to executions on the Jumbotron. So here we are. We get a little starter on in the morning, and now I can just tell by looking at this chart that this starter was relatively tiny because I didn't even take any off at VWAP. Normally, if this was on a main watch, I would take some off in VWAP, expecting a push, right? This is just a little gravy scalp, but I didn't take it, so I have barely any size on. And then, look, you can tell it looks like a partial fill, comes down, and then I do get the fill, and then I get an add-on. So I believe that's a starter. First add partial, first add complete, and then on top of the, I can't see how much size I put on there because this is just a snapshot of the chart. But my average is close to $12, and then look right here, 12.15. That's our line. That's our line. Now I can tell that I put my orders down at $12, a little bit lower, because I had probably some FOMO to miss out. I don't know, but this was a nice entry right here. And then look, we get this monster flush. And again, this was not on main watch because I was in some heavy trades, which you'll see next. I didn't take any profit here. And this is not enough for me to add, right? I have a smoking hot average right now. My average is probably around 1180, maybe even higher depending on this amount of size. But this is a great opportunity here. Even though this push is sub VWAP, this is an add opportunity, especially if we get that first wick. Let's enhance this chart. So you can see we get this wick right here off the 72.89 on the 1 minute chart, right? A lot of traders, a lot of big traders are looking at that. I know some guys that trade this strategy. So that's what it is basically. The 72.89 traders are coming in because look at this monster weakness. I mean, that just lights out. We get a tiny little bit. It's like, imagine, I'm just picturing some guy getting like held underwater, right? And he finally comes up and gets that tiny little grasp of air, like, and then he boom, right back down. That's what this is right here, right? He just gets his mouth out of the water, trying to breathe, right? And this is all coming alive on the tape. If you guys watch the tape, man, I'm just seeing the lights flashing. Like, this is the stuff that we live for. This is the exciting trades we want. Look at that move. That's like a roller coaster. I mean, that's just lights out. This is a free dive. We love this stuff. This is what we live for. And then we get another flush. I don't know if I would have caught this. I would have had some feelers out and I would have had more size up here, but we get this next flush. Look, continuing to give it time. This target was not set out in front of the tape or I would have caught it here. So this is me being greedy, wanting that low right here. Let me zoom out. Sorry guys, we're working off of a snapshot chart. So this is me trying to get 1285, trying to get that yum, that big payday. But I didn't. But look how I react to it. I let it come back up. I'm not going to let it come up against me much. Maybe 7 cents off the low, right? So I'm looking for an additional 15 cents, and I'm only going to give it 7. That's a 2-to-1 right there, right? Everything we do, we can calculate risk. That's what we do. We're professional traders. We calculate risk, right? When I go to the grocery store and I buy 2% milk, I want to calculate, does that spoil faster than 1%, right? We calculate everything, baby. All right, and the last trade, RKDA. Now, we went heavy on the executions on RKDA. Everybody knows about what happened on this one. It was just super strong. Let's pull it up. Hope you guys are having a stellar weekend. Shout out to the boys. Now, look at this thing, right? This is institutional ownership. This thing is manipulation. Sorry, guys, I'm on the different screen. Okay, so here we go. Now, RKDA is food products agricultural. That's right. They just had an 8K come out. They're going to set up shop in Hawaii. I think they're going to try to grow some hemp. They have a relatively small float. I believe the float was around 3 million or 2 million. I think it was in between 2 or 3 million, a micro float, 6.2 million shares outstanding, and this thing's closing strong, still only a 28 million market cap, right? Look at the relative range, 700%, almost 689% relative range, and we move $3, right? That's a monster move. Everyone's got eyes on this, including us. Let's look at the short-term technicals right here, or the higher time frame volume, I should say. So I see right away we got a main consolidation of volume. This is fair market value. And then we have volume clearance. Now, right now we're trading at, we're at 494 because they let the algo run just a little bit in the after hours. But once we get to $5, which is the point of control on the 3-year chart as well, if they do get past 5, it has the opportunity to run up until 697.14. As you can see, that's the next resistance level. Now we're short. We are still holding a short position on it. Let's go ahead and go over to executions. So we got short in pre-market. Let's zoom in on this one. Now you're looking at this, and I started in short in pre-market, and I'm still short after hours. So we shorted this monster strength, including the squeeze, and we are profitable on this. Now, there's not too many traders that I know that are profitable on this. There's not too many traders who even want to trade this type of strength, but it's summer. We don't get too many of these opportunities, and I'm the type of guy that wants to get better. I want to work, right? I want to get working. And this just proves that this frontside core strategy can be effective. Now down the road, this is going to be a tool in my bag to get out of positions. But right now, I'm just learning. We're getting better every day. There's a lot of mistakes on this chart, especially the ones I highlight, right? We want to highlight our mistakes. We don't want to put them under the rug, right? We stack the winners and we study the losers. So here we go. Just putting some feelers in. right on top of VWAP. I don't like doing that, but look at the downside potential. This is just dark prints coming in. These guys are setting up. Look at this right here. This is technical manipulation, right? These are all dark prints. You guys, if you guys have access to dark prints on your tape, you'll see this. If you don't, then that's why, because you don't have access to those prints. But I drew lines right here. These guys are setting up like 260. They're setting up false support, right? And then they're going to flush down. There's a lot of guys, including myself, who kept my last target out right here. So there's a lot of bid liquidity right here. And it didn't get filled. Now they pushed hard. Now we identified this on the tape, especially when we started to base right here. And then this thing, we did a nice tape reading on this until the stall, until the halt. Now this is a bad habit for me. I always put a starter on and then possibly a double starter, depends on how fast the tape is moving. But I always do that. It's a bad habit right before the halt, right? These guys pushed it up, and then what they do is they stack the bid, and then they let short sellers, including myself, hit the bid, and they just let that run until it gets halted. Now, we've seen this happen a couple weeks ago where the stock didn't get halted. And those guys just were like, oh shit. And then the stock just tumbled. But NASDAQ did LUDP, which is 10% in 5 minute volatility halt. So this thing halted for 5 minutes, and then it opened strong. Now, once we halted and opened strong, I was surprised, but we got into a nice consolidation here, and I started to put together an average. Now, I carried some shares up here, which, like I just said, is a mistake, but I started to size in here, and then I put my heavier adds up here. Now, I wasn't going to add any more. I had a 384 average. I need to start to take profit. So this is not in the money profit, but this, let me see. Sorry, guys, I don't have the dash charts. So look, right. So I have a 384 average, and I'm barely taking profit, but I am taking profit, which is good, because now this is what I'm upside down right now on this push. So I'm still taking profit on this monster push, and that's going to give me the leg up, in my opinion. A lot of guys are trapped, or a lot of guys are stopped out, right? This is a lot of short seller stop liquidity. That's what this squeeze is, on top of these guys just smashing the offer. So we're averaging up, we're taking profit. That puts me in a position, now it's me versus the machine. Now I'm not trying to battle back. At this point right here, when I put this $4 average in, now it's go time. Now I got all I need right here. I think you guys can understand what I'm saying. This right here was all I need to get back, to get my average up. And now we got it. So now we're at $4. Now I feel like, okay, I survived the push. Now it's time to go to work. And that's what we did. We got up here on the second tier, right? Because down here, this is tier 1. Here's tier 2, right? And they did the same thing. They're going to wedge. They're going to print whatever they want. And then pow. They go up to tier 3 and then pow, right? But tier 1, now, like I said, I have a $4 average. I have a 405. I'm just selling pops. I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit. I'm not going to go over every execution, but I'm really going to zoom in on this because this is all from the order flow, right? This is what we do for a living. We love the order flow. We read the tape. Shout out to the guys who are studying so hard. We're putting orders out. 82.7% of the liquidity that I traded on RKDA on Friday was passive. They were limit orders, which is another important thing, especially down the road if I want to get liquidity rebates to try to offset commissions, which I do, but my goal is to trade for free and live off of the liquidity rebates in relation to commissions. But anyway, so just bottom ticking and top ticking, right? It didn't take long for me to get into the zone. This was a feeler off of this, and then we start to put size on. Now we get a flush. Now I know that I'm happy with my average here in relation to price because I didn't trim here. Now if I'm in trouble, I'm going to trim, looking to add back. But this is a decision point for me mentally. I'm watching the tape and I'm deciding. I'm in a core average, right? I don't mind it from this point. If the price wants to go up higher, that's fine. I'm going to trim and go up. But it's my job as a core trader with this strategy. It's my job to get the information off the tape and decide, are we going up or are we going down? Because it doesn't matter to me if it goes up or down. We're going to make money either way. It's got to go up for us to make money. So we want it to go up, but we want to take profit on the way down. And that's why a lot of these traders, we got some trolls sending me messages now, and just traders don't understand. This is a difficult strategy. I will say that. This is a very difficult strategy, but this is going to be a dream come true strategy for me down the road. But again, we can simplify this strategy, but it comes down to, let's understand the tape. Let's understand the order flow. So we're getting some flushes here, and I feel dialed in. I'm liking the top. I'm liking my sells. Right? And I'm liking my buys. Now this right here lets me know that I got a little heavy here. I did. I got heavy. I don't know if I trimmed heavy and got heavy, but this right here lets me know that I thought we were going to go up. Even though it's in the money, 405. And sorry about this, guys. 405, and look, I'm taking profit about 430. I could be wrong. Let me see. Here's a 430 line. So here's a 430 line. Okay, so I'm down about 10 or 15 cents. Got a 405 average. I'm not going to zoom out again, but I'm taking profit here, especially here. I'm taking profit, expecting price to go back up. It does go back up. I'm crushing it again here. I'm taking profit. I'm a little bit off here, and then we get a push. Now this is an error. This is me thinking that we are backside. We are not backside at this point, right? I'm expecting a lower high. Right, we got a high. I think we're high a day here. We come down. We got a lower high wick, which I love. Then we get a nice hard flush back to support. Now we get a pop, and they just boom. They go right up without me. So I carried these up. I chose to carry these up. Now look at my average in relation to right here. I have a 408 average. Each line is 5 cents. Yeah. So right here I have a $4 average. Now I have a 417 average. I'm going up 5, 10, 12 cents, and I have a 417 average. So that lets me know that I'm gaining momentum. Even though we're going up, I'm still gaining profit on the way up. And then now I'm just taking profit earlier, and I'm adding heavier. I can tell by this execution strategy. We're taking profit here. This was the most profitable consolidation right here. Tier 3 is where we really put in that 4-digit win today or yesterday. This is where it was. I'm just adding into these spikes and selling into these washes. Like right here is support, right? You can see the support line right here, and I'm catching underneath it. And then in my opinion, these wicks right here, this was an exchange of liquidity. So this was a machine that traded this all day. Now this machine doesn't want to trade sideways. It wants to trade its game. This machine's making more money when this thing's going higher or lower. But right here, in my opinion, they're adjusting their liquidity. So they're buying and selling right here, and they're catching stops is what they're doing. They're taking out long stops, and they're taking out short stops. That's why they're so spready right here on these wicks. Next time you see wicks like this off the base right here, off the consolidation, watch the spread. And because I know it was tough for me to get fills on both sides. We'll go into more detail about that later. But this was the algo trying to get their liquidity correct before they could go up again. And we caught it. We caught it a little bit heavier, lower than we wanted. But we did nice. We're padded nice on this. And we put our heavier ads, as you can see up top. We have a 460 average, 459.44. We count every penny. And then we get a nice flush. Now, the way that this went up, just from looking at it, this is purely speculation. Look how nice and pretty this is. It's high, right? Lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high. That's too pretty. This thing's been trading ridiculous all day, and then they're going to print something like this, right? So in my opinion, this is to get the acquired longs, and then they sold into it. They just snap attacked it, and we waited. We were patient enough to wait, and we took some off at this 420 support or whatever this is right here. We took it off at support, still holding out. I didn't add here. I would have added here, right? These orders were out once I took these fills, and I'm not going to touch them. Once I set my ads, majority of the time I leave them, right? That's why we get the passive liquidity. So then I'm taking more profit here, and then I forfeited this dump. I didn't know at the time, but I wanted 380, and I reported in the room that I want 380 because 380 was one of my lines. Let's go over and look at the lines real quick. So here's my lines on the name. 379. Let's go ahead and just zoom in. 380. 420. Right? Look at the point of control at 425. This is where they did. This is that consolidation right here where they look at the volume. You see the volume in the background. Look at the amount of volume. It's abnormally a large amount of volume right here. This is where they wash those shares, in my opinion. All right, and then we're even taking some in the after hours. Not much because there's not too much liquidity. They turned the algo back on, and we have a 471 average. I took some off at 469. I got a tiny little bit, actually more than a tiny little bit. I have some and I'm carrying over. And what we believe, our thesis is that we're going to get a gap down. They put out an 8K, nothing special. They're going to be like 52 or 51% ownership in some hemp production in Hawaii. And with that, let's go over to the Wolf Trading Discord room and look at the runners room. Now, shout out real quick, my trading accountability buddy Fuchs is going to be joining us next week. He's been setting things around. He's moving his office, but he's a very talented trader. We're going to have him in the room next week. We had 5 guys join the room. Shout out to my buddy Harry. He joined the room as well. Very excited to have him in there and get a little bit more of a long thesis in the room, as well as to all the new traders and everybody else that joined, and just the dedication that we got in the room. It's contagious, baby. So now let's take a quick look. Let's see what's in the runner's room right here, aka the weapons room. Now we have SEIN. SEIN, little manipulation. Look at this, just running through levels. Ding, 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 right? It's respecting levels, as you can see, but this thing is just hard sell-off. We can see that there was an earnings right here, but look how it closed. I'm interested in this push, this touch and go fade route or touch and go strength route. Usually we like to see this on the downside. We're short sellers, but right, a nice clean break, a retest, and a push. Now we had a little sell-off in the after hours, but that doesn't really interest me. It's low liquidity, as I can see, so I don't pay attention to it. Now, if I'm going to look and there's movement in the after hours, the first thing I want to see is the volume. Right? The more volume, the more honest. That's why we use a volume profile. TXDM putting in a nice little double-headed monster head and shoulders. Fake out rejection, putting in another shoulder, double head, double shoulder. Then it's just got a flat line and getting that long, lengthy, symmetrical pull triangle, whatever you want to call it. And then look at this, clean breakout. Doesn't even come down to retest. That's strength. This is technical strength. Look at the volume. This is tier 1. This is tier 2. Here's tier 2. I'm going to call it T1, T2. Look at T2 volume in relation to T1. Now, if this thing does crack this level, all this volume's bagged, right? All the uptick volume in this. I don't have the uptick and the downtick in the profile, but this would be a nice snap. Yeah, this one. That's why it's on watch. We got it on watch. IFKM, look, 8-9 low volume push. And guys, these levels right here, all these levels are marked off the 3-year chart. I mark these every day. I spend about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour every day marking these runners for you guys so that you can check against your levels and see if we're on the same page. And if we're not, then you can help me correct my lines. All right? We challenge each other's theses in this room. No one's right, no one's wrong, but we come together, we get a room consensus, and we just push each other to be better every single day. Look at this thing, CTST. Shout out to Trav. He loves these marijuana stocks, and he's been really putting in a lot of work on a supply zone. So we thank you for that, Trav, and you're an inspiration to us all. Deleted his Twitter account today because he's so dedicated on just getting the order flow into charts, man. That's what we want to see. We want to see dedication to craft, and that's what we got from a lot of members in the room. Now look at this exhaustion right here into pre-market. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that. We can get another leg, right? A little zoom up, and now we're basing. We want to see more strength. More strength. Last time I saw anything about this company, I saw a GIF with the building was on fire. I don't want to get into that, but I don't know too much about the company. INWK, look at this, just wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 on the higher time frame chart. The 5-minute chart, you'll see a couple waves. This thing's closing strong. Look at this little ascending triangle kind of a pattern, and then a nice clean breakout pop. Look at the volume, right? When we see ascending triangle breakouts, the first thing we want to see is the volume. So we look down at the volume, and that is legit volume right there. And that thing is going to go. We think that this is going to be in play on Monday. It's on main watch. PBYI, we traded this today, but look, we got a buyer on the bid. Look at this right here. Buyer on the bid. RKDA, we're still in a position. We have a 571.36 gross average, right? We have profit already. We took profit on that way up. That puts us in a good position. Hopefully we get some more strength. Now you're saying, well, you're short right now. Why do you want to see more strength? Well, because I want to see more range, because I believe that I can handle this algo, and the higher we go, I shouldn't say that because I've seen this thing went to $70 a couple months ago. But we want to see a little strength, and we want to see a sell-off tomorrow is what we want. And that's it, guys. Wait, workhorse. Here's a day 2. Here's that 329 line. That's our decision point. Again, there's a monster consolidation between 147 and 329. And this is just testing. I had a 331 fill. I didn't catch it, so I just sold out yesterday at 341 from a swing from up here somewhere. And then, of course, it snaps without me, but that's okay because the market's rejected this. It's right back up, which is fine. There's not really much liquidity on this anyway for your bigger guys. And that's it, guys. Man, we really appreciate all the new members in the room. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening for 31 minutes. I thought this was going to be a quick one. But, man, we really, really appreciate all of the hard work and dedication from you guys in the room. So let's go ahead and get 1% better every single day. Shout out to the guys in the room who are reading books right now and studying their faces off. Let us know in the room what you guys are studying. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy your Sunday. And we'll see you next time.